Thank you so much. First and foremost, let me be very clear that I am humbled, grateful, and blessed to have this platform to share my truth. I want to thank everybody, all the presenters before me and all the presenters after me, for your hard and tireless efforts of work. And it's an honor to be here with you. Also, thank you to everybody who has shown up. We appreciate your time and we thank you for being here with us because without you, we can't take this data and make the improvements we need to serve the students that need these services. Whew, it's been a journey, but it's been a good one, and I've learned a lot. So let me explain to you my real college journey. But to understand that I'm a real college student, you must understand how I got here. So let's back up and start at the beginning. Almost 5 years ago, I was downtown, dumpster diving, panhandling, begging for change, drug and alcohol addicted. My life was a should have been, could have been. Luckily, a man stepped into my life, was an angel, African American brother. I don't know his name. I wish I did. I owe him a dinner. He stepped in and I said, let me die. And he said, no, you ain't dying today. He handed me a pillow and a glass of water. And he said, I called the ambulance. They're on their way. He saved my life. That allowed me to go to treatment. And when I went to treatment, I took a year to get mentally, spiritually, and physically correct before I would enter college. When I walked on college campus, I entered as a student in recovery, a student that receives SNAP, a student that takes the bus, a student that needs certain critical resources. And that's what this data has shown us today. See, the great thing about this data is that it's no longer a conversation of we think or we hope or we've heard. The data is hard evidence to prove that the resources are needed. One of the greatest things about education that we know is that education teaches us about behavior and it shows us statistics of things that are needed. The greatest gift of knowledge is sharing it. And that's one of the things that this data does. It allows us to all look at this and say, how can I tap into my resources, my networks, and how can I use this to help those that need? Because one thing we all must remember, we've all gotten support to get where we got. So in order for other students to get there, they need these certain resources that can help them achieve their dreams as well. All right, so I arrive on campus. And true to form my addictive mind, I arrive on campus. Listen, I'm a diehard Green Bay fan. I got Green Bay phone, I got Green Bay hat, I got all this stuff. I'm on campus. My name's Freddie. I'm so happy to be here. I'm telling everybody I take mental health meds, right? I'm thrilled to be here. And one of the reasons is when I walked into the building, I didn't walk in searching for grades. I walked in searching for life. See, I'm the type of student where the way that you educate me is by understanding I'm human first. You know, we use these big words in academia, this academia jargon that most students don't know. And Christine had talked about it, right? Pedagogy. And, you know, we use these things, retention and you know, all these different words in feeder institutions. All that jargon means be kind. Understand that every student is not coming from a home of updated scholarship, eating elderberry to treat their immune system, reading and traveling and having all those things. Some students are at home and they're trying to figure out water and lights. Some students are at home and they're trying to figure out how am I going to get through the day, not this APA paper. And the best professors and educators are the ones that understand that. And that's why taking this data that you've seen, we have the opportunity to not only educate, but we can educate while providing them with the support they need. One of the things I've learned in education, I used to think I wasn't as smart. I used to think I didn't matter. What I realized is, it's not that I'm not as smart. What I realized is that I'm not as supported. The way that I can achieve, the way that I can do things is by giving resources and networks to achieve my dreams as well. So my first day on campus, if you know anything about education, which most everybody does, they send you to take placement test in community college. So I go take my placement test. And she comes back, she says, congratulations, sir. You placed in the remedial level. I was like, yes, because I didn't know what remedial meant. I thought it meant advanced courses. So I'm all happy. I'm walking around. Hey, y'all, I tested in the remedial course. I'll see y'all there, right? I had no idea what I was doing. So when I find out it's a remedial course, I come home and tell my wife, and I'm sad. And my wife says to me, Freddie, just go to class. So I arrive on campus, English 025. Now I'm about to take you through a tutorial on how you educate and help a real college student and how you bring the best out of them. I get in this class and the English 025 teacher says to me, I'm going to give you an assignment on identity. Now I'm not going to grade this on grammar. I'm going to grade it on content. And I raised my hand. I said, are you sure? Because I got a story to tell you. She said, yeah, Freddie, I'm sure. Please tell me. So I wrote in there about how I was dumpster diving. I wrote in there about how the things I went through with my mental health and my substance abuse. Now, mind you, I didn't see the climate of that on the campus. And I was very nervous to write that. And as a real college student, you can be embarrassed to say I'm hungry. You can be embarrassed to say those type of things. Because honestly, it's hard to talk about that if you don't feel that that love's going to come back because you put yourself out there. Well, I put myself out there and I told her. After class, she says to me, Freddie, there's life in this paper. We're going to get you published. And I looked at her. I said, what's published? I had no idea. Never knew what it meant. Right? She shares with me a conference and a resource. I go to this conference. I meet with somebody that knows the editor at the Philadelphia Inquirer. They asked me, dude, I want to tell my story. I said, yes. And we lead collegiate recovery on my campus. She said, great. She said, I'll tell you what, send it to me. Don't you know that by her treating me as a human first, it allowed me to be published on the front page of the op-ed section of the Philadelphia Inquirer. Now think about this. A student who's received SNAP, a student that needs mental health services, a student that needs collegiate recovery services, because your educator stepped in, saw what I needed, saw that I was a real college student. They took their resources, showed them to me, showed me the process of how to walk through that. And it now put me in a position where I have a motivational speaking company and I have a presence on campus where other people want to talk to me. Now, here's my question to you today. How can you take this data and find your Freddie on campus? How can you take this data and find your student on campus who has talents and gifts as well? Because I'm not the only student with talent and gifts. I just happen to be one of the students that was lucky and blessed enough to know the president, to know the marketing department, where they molded me into a professional and taught me the ropes. And one of the ways they did that was they brought me into the meetings. And they said things like, and this is another tutorial on how you help. Hey, this real college student right here, we want to take him under our wing. And we want to give him a village of power where he can tap into us and he can tap into the things that he needs. And they would say things in a meeting like, well, what about what Freddie thought? Well, what about what Freddie said? Did you hear Freddie's opinion? See, while they were walking me through this, my self-esteem was building. I started to believe in myself. I started to realize that this campus does care about mental health. This campus does care about collegiate recovery. Hey, when I walk in this class and I got to catch the bus, and if I'm late, that teacher will understand. That teacher will understand that tonight I might have to save my money because I might not got enough money to eat. You know, Christine talked about it. We need to understand that if you have a student in your class and maybe he doesn't look like he's paying attention, or maybe he's sleepy, or maybe something's going on, maybe it's because he's been up all night because he got to take care of both his brother and sister. Maybe it's because of the fact that he was waiting at the bus stop for hours and he's cold. Maybe it's because of the fact that he don't have what you have. And we need to understand that. We're not sharing this data to say, look at the problem. We're sharing this data to ask you to help us solve the problem. One of the greatest things about education that I learned, W.E.B.D. Du Bois was right. Education is not supposed to just teach work. Education is supposed to teach life. That's the greatest gift about this, is that we now have data we've never seen before. We now have things that we understand, and we all have the power. That doctorate that you're blessed to have, that master's that you're blessed to have, that institution that you're blessed to be on, that nonprofit board that you're blessed to be on, that is for you to help serve other people that don't got what you got. One of the reasons I'm thankful to be a part of this is because now I feel like my voice matters. Now I feel like they care about me. And let me tell you how the journey kept going. So I get published in the Philadelphia Inquirer. And when I get published in that Inquirer, I get a call from New Jersey, Cambria County Technical Schools. They said, Frederick, we like your story. We'd like you to speak. I said, me? They said, yeah, we'll pay you. I said, what? I said, yeah, I'll come down there. I'm a real college student. I'm going to come tell you my story. I couldn't wait. I was so happy. Then the marketing department and the president surrounded me and they emboldened me. And what they did was they gave me a presence on campus. Let me tell you how that's worked out for me. By them doing that, it's allowed me to graduate Delaware County Community College with a 3.74 GPA. I graduated with that GPA and I was selected as an all-state, all-PA academic team, which allowed me to get a full ride to Westchester University. I was selected in the honors college at Westchester University. By being selected in there, I have now 18 credits. I have a 3.73 GPA. I'm a student that goes to the Office of Disabilities. They understand the resources I need, and they make sure that I'm connected and I'm tapped into where I need to be at. Do you know what it feels like for a student that came on campus at 30-some years old, that didn't have no other passport, that didn't have no other way? Education was all I had. And hadn't people took the time, hadn't people sat down and said, you know what? You might not got what them other students got, but we're going to meet you where you're at, and we're going to help point you to the resource you need to. And if you can't find them, when you get done, come back and see me, because then I'm going to show you to my other person. See, when we're in these meetings and we're allocating funding, we need to make sure that the football life, the Greek life, we need to make sure that the health department, the communications department, that all those departments are funded equally, because each student that is involved with those departments are equal students. The best way that you deal with students is that you take this data, you sit on it, and you get to work. Because the reality of it is, the longer we wait, the longer we choose not to do anything, the longer somebody might starve. The longer somebody might not be able to do the things that we want to do. So I want to end you with this, and I want to take you on this last ride to show you where things are at today. As I said, I'm at Westchester University, thankfully, great university. I was just accepted into the accelerated bachelor's to master's program. What that means is that next fall, I'm enrolled into my graduate program of study. I will graduate in May with 6 grad courses under my belt. I am now applying for an assistantship at the Frederick Douglass Institute, grad assistantship. I also have a motivational speaking company where they allow me to go to other campuses and advocate. And you know why I do that? Because other people advocated for me. So what that taught me was it's my job to empower people to empower other people. See, that's the great thing about helping a real college student. We're seasoned souls. See, we understand what it's like not to have dinner. We understand what it's like to come to college and not feel that you're worthy. And by somebody helping me, it's putting me to make sure I help. So I'm a student, I'm running a speaking company, and I write. And I'm thankful to let you know that I learned a valuable lesson about college, one that I will take to me forever. College should not just change my bank account. College should change my soul. Thank you all for listening to me and allowing me to share my truth. And God bless you, and thank you for being here. We appreciate your time.